Alrighty guys, we're back for some 4-color dragons, and this is a Dominaria United Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. That being said, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat, and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you want to join that up. I highly recommend it. Okay, what do we got in the build? We got 3 Flame Blessed Bolts. I think this is going to be a solid piece of early game removal. It hits a lot of cards in Mono Black, Tenacious Underdog, the new Skeleton that I forget the name of right now. Also, Mono Red is rocking the... Oh, well, first of all, a lot of cards that this can hit, but the Exile ability on Flame Blessed Bolt goes a long way against the Phoenix Chick, too. So, yeah, I think it's going to be solid removal. Got a couple Shivan Devastators because this is a dragon deck and this card can definitely help us close out games. Got 4 Lightning Strikes. Now I opted for this over other pieces of removal like Infernal Grasp, and for good reason. The deck knows how to get a lot of damage through. Against control style builds, you can totally just target your opponent's face with this and be satisfied. But also there's a new dragon that I'll go over in just a second that's going to work well with these burn style effects. So we have 4 Courier's Briefcase. Do not underestimate the power of that citizen, guys. With all the Lilianas running about, if you just drop your turn 5 dragon, it's gonna get sacrificed. Like opponent's gonna drop Liliana -2. You're gonna have to sacrifice your big old chunky dragon and you're gonna be sad about it. But if you have that extra citizen on the board, then all of a sudden you can sacrifice that citizen instead, so it makes your opponent rethink that play. And yeah, I think that's going to go a long way. Also, the deck totally can pay the 5 color cost down there to draw 3 cards, and you're probably going to do that more often than you would ever think. A lot of mana fixing in this deck, so you're not always going to have to tap Courier's Briefcase as treasure. Speaking of mana fixing, guys, we do have 25 total land as well. We got 2 Reckoner Bankbuster to help us draw. Eventually we can get that treasure off of it too, and being able to crew this up can actually go a long way. We'll see though. Got a couple Fable of the Mirror Breakers because it's Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Let's be real. The first ability helps us fix our mana and ramp. The Goblin's not going to survive often anymore because it has a huge target on its back nowadays, but just overall, like, if you could squeeze more of these in here, then you probably want to, but this deck has a lot of different cards. Got a couple Rivaz of the Claw. This is a new 3-mana 3/3 with Menace. It's a legendary creature, so we only have 2 of them. You can tap it to add mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon creature spells. That's pretty sick. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. When you cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard, it gains when this creature dies, exile it. This card looks freaking sweet, guys. I did some test games. I haven't been able to actually use the Rivaz ability just yet. Speaking of the test games, guys, this deck is very difficult to run. Holy cow. You guys will see the test game win rate up here and after the first match, of course. So we have 1 Celestus, more mana fixing, a way to gain life, and just a terrific card overall. I have 4 Moonveil Regent. So what's really good about Moonveil in this particular deck is the fact that we have so many multicolored spells and 3-color spells as well. So whenever you cast a spell, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each of that spell's colors. So it's going to be very easy to discard 1 or 2 cards and just draw 3 cards when you play a 3-color spell. When Moonveil Regent dies, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Yeah, this is a 4-colored deck, so it's not going to be too hard to have this deal 4 damage. And then imagine copying it with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki too. Pretty cool combo. Got a couple Unleash the Inferno, and this card's actually amazing right now. So for 4 mana, it's rocking the Jund colors up there. Instant speed. Unleash the Inferno deals 7 damage to target creature or planeswalker. When it deals excess damage this way, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the amount of excess damage. So you're telling me I can take out Liliana and their Bankbuster too, all with 1 card? Sounds good to me, guys. Or a Meat Hook for that matter too. But Honestly, the mono black decks aren't going to be playing out Meat Hook too often against this. I guess one of the ways they would want to play it out is X is 1 to take care of our citizens, but yeah. Either way, Unleash the Inferno is going to be doing a lot for you while those mono black control decks are floating about because they are rocking the Meat Hooks and the Bank Busters and a bunch of targets for Inferno to hit. We have a single Cruelty of Gix. I think that's how you'd pronounce that. A 5-mana saga with read ahead, so we get to choose what chapter this starts on, which is freaking sick. So in chapter 1, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or a planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. Nice. Chapter 2, search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. Okay, now we're talking. But then chapter 3, somehow better. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Dude, nice. Something else I wanted to bring up with Unleash the Inferno is that 7 damage is a lot, and it hits pretty much everything. It could take out a Titan of Industry, for example, if it doesn't have the shield counter. The 7 damage obviously takes out Shieldred, too, which is a card that's being played a lot right now. And then, hey, Cruelty can bring back their Shieldred. Bring that to your side of the board. Why not, right? We got 3 Rith. Liberated Primevals. This is a 5-mana 5/5 flying with Ward 2. Now, it's got Naya colors up there. This is the main reason we're splashing white in the build. Other dragons you control have Ward 2. Yeah, nice. I love that. I love these style of abilities. Anything that helps me protect my creatures is awesome. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent controlled was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. So that's why we're rocking the Lightning Strike over something like an Infernal Grasp, because we can do excess damage to a Tenacious Underdog and generate 4/4 dragons. Now it is at the beginning of your end step, so you can't really do this on the opponent's turn, but I don't think that matters, dude. Just generating dragons in general, and then they all have wards too, because Rith is still on the board, seems really powerful. And honestly, it probably is really powerful. Got a couple Leyline Bindings. Since we're splashing white in here already, Leyline can do a lot. What you're looking at mana-wise for Leyline in a deck like this, it's going to be between 4 and 2 most of the time. If the game goes on very long, you can always drop a Thran Portal on blue, have the Leylines cost 1, but at that point, you don't really care. It's going to cost between 4 and 2, so I'm going to put it in the 3-drop spot, because that's probably what it's going to be most of the time, especially since we're rocking 6 different triomes in the deck between Proving Ground and Jetmir's Garden. The very top end of the build, we have a couple Ziatora, the Incinerators, a 6-mana 6/6 flying, rocking Jund colors up there. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, Ziatora the Incinerator deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target, and you create 3 treasure tokens. Great way to close out games. A terrific card paired with Moonveil Regent, because you can always sacrifice the Regent and you're doing a ton of extra damage because of that second ability on the Regent as well. Imagine this line of play, right? You copy with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, copy the Moonveil Regent, you're swinging in the air, you got the Ziatora, you discard them, or you sacrifice the main Moonveil Regent, and then the Reflection copy sacrifices itself, and you're just doing a ton of damage, and that can easily close out a game. Also have a Herd Migration, but don't think of this as a 7-drop. Yeah, you might play it out sometimes for your 3/3 beasts, but most of the time you're going to use it for the discard ability and another way to fix your mana base as well. So yeah, pretty good card, and the 3 life goes a long way too. Okay, guys. This one's pretty tough to run. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. The test matches, yeah, they were tough, but the deck was proving to be pretty powerful too. So we'll see if that can hold up in the video. Either way, let's take it into some ranked and see how we do. Alright, we'll see if we can get right into the first game here. It has been taking a little longer. There was actually an update today too, so 8 seconds, that is not terrible. Nothing to complain about by any means. All right. Let's see what the opponent's bringing to the table. Something tells me Liliana. Something tells me mono black, but you know, I just can't be sure. Oh, we got some blue over there, actually. Nice. The Jetmir's Garden comes down tapped no matter what. Maybe we'll get lucky and draw an untapped land so we can go Briefcase. Not this time round, but that's okay. We have Flame Blessed Bolt open. Really? They're tricking us, guys. Potentially some Izzet control over there. Attempt the Briefcase, but we know Make Disappear is everywhere right now. The Briefcase hits. And that's that. Gonna pass it to them. Fading Hope takes care of our citizen. Yeah, it's okay. We don't care too much about the citizen. See, Fading Hope could really slow down a deck like this. A simple bouncing back of Ziatora sets you back an entire turn 6 or something ridiculous, so... The Worldly Gaze. Okay, this is... looks like they do have creatures in here, so the Flame Blessed Bolt might be something we want to keep open when it comes time. Cruelty is really good, but a Make Disappear could still be open here, so we're just going to go right into the Courier's Briefcase and keep Lightning Strike and Flame Blessed Bolt open. The reason we keep both of them open too, is a great reason actually, is if they play like a Ledger Shredder. If they play Ledger Shredder and we try to, wait, Ledger Shredder is a 1/3, isn't it? Yeah, bad example actually, because Flame Blast doesn't hit it. If they play a creature that we can hit, we can target it, they try to protect it with one of their spells, and then we hit it with the other one. I'm tempted to go Lightning Strike to the opponent's face and see if they counter it. I don't think they counter it. Yeah, they take the 3, but they do have 2 of these lands that deal damage to themselves, so maybe that 3 damage will go a little bit further. So we have the 2 open from the Briefcase. If we go Cruelty, creature or planeswalker from their hand. They didn't play a creature this time round. I'd really hate for this just to eat a normal counter, and I'd really hate for the Ziatora to eat a Make Disappear, so maybe it was Thran Portal this turn. Let's try the Cruelty. A normal counter would suck, but if it's just Make Disappear, we can pay the Briefcases. It's going to be a Make Disappear, and we're going to pay for this, guys. We are absolutely going to pay for this. Now, the question here is, do we just start from the top and get all... Yeah, let's start from the top. Let's look at the opponent's hand, see if we can find a creature. Oh! Oh my! What do we even hit? Our Flame Blessed Bolt doesn't hit either of these. This is actually sick. 3 mana, 5/5 with Ward 2. That is actually insane, dude. I don't even know what we hit, guys. I really don't. I guess the Terror is actually a little bit scarier, even though the other one has flying. I was not expecting to see that. So they go ahead, play with fire our face. They're going for the scry here. Lightning Strike. Dude. Tolarian Terror. That is sick, opponent. I really like that. It actually looks really good, doesn't it? We go for the Djinn. And we are going to search for removal for that. Leyline Binding, huh? Leyline is 3 mana. But also, Unleash the Inferno gets there too. A Devastator could be nice and chunky. I think it's just Leyline. How do you guys feel about that? Leyline Binding? I think that's okay. We're gonna play this out too on play it out on red. Play it out on blue too. Play it out on red though. We don't have a mountain out there is the thing, so we can have the binding cost. We do have a mountain. I'm crazy. I'm crazy, guys. Don't listen. Jetmir's Garden counts as a mountain. Start with the swing. If they block, then the Lightning Strike is perfect. So they take it. And we don't want them to draw protection, so we're gonna go right into the binding. Yeah, so what did we want to play that as then? We wanted a black source, that's what we wanted. We wanted to play this as a swamp to make the binding cost 1 less, so we had 3 open, so that way we could have had the Lightning Strike and the Flame Blessed Bolt open. Yeah, so that's my bad, guys. Either way, we still have 2 open here, and we can Lightning Strike the opponent's face. They are considering. Looks like we might actually be able to get Ziatora down here, too. GG opponent. Hey, there's those test matches that I was talking about. That is, for once, the exact same version of the deck. For once in my test match career. So 75 total % win rate, and those test matches were in ranked too, so don't worry about that. They were legit. Pretty good. I like it. That version of Is It can be pretty scary, but once the Cruelty actually hit the board and we were able to get rid of at least one of their threats and then search for removal for the other. Oh, dude, the Cruelty looks really good, doesn't it? No white source here, but Courier's Briefcase and Herd Migration. Yeah, this is perfect, dude. Perfect. I love it. We got the removal. We got everything else we need. We just don't have a turn 2 play guaranteed. Yeah, the mana's a little slow, but I like this hand. There's no way I'm getting rid of this hand by any means. Phoenix check. Now, we got a little bit lucky. Can go planes right away on this. Get the Briefcase down. And I think it's Briefcase, so that way we can chump a hasty creature if we think it's necessary. The 3 life on the Herd Migration is pretty good too. And you can do it at instant speed. So we could have kept open the Leyline too for removal. But we need to keep Leyline for like a Raiju or something else. So Jetmir's Garden. Not bad. Not bad, guys. I'm just going to keep the Herd Migration and the Leyline Binding open. Probably just going to be the Herd. Because, like I said, Leyline needs to be open. Leyline needs to be open for the Raiju turn. And we're saving this as a chump blocker still. Sunrise. Yeah, we can't chump block that successfully, but we can Leyline Binding. So, have Inferno open next turn. So let's just take this damage. We're going to be gaining 2 here because we got to pay 1 for the Thran Portal. And we want to find, I suppose another red source would be fine. Yeah, I suppose another red source would be fine. And we can't successfully chump that because it has trample, so we're just going to take the 5. Pretty risky, but Unleash the Inferno hits the Kumano so they don't get the haste from that. And we do this all on our turn because we know Boros runs cards like Valorous Stance. Gonna take another one here. It is pretty scary. The Thran Portal is doing a good chunk of damage to us. Save the chump blocker for Raiju. Yeah, we're getting pretty low, and we know that aggro decks can get there. Like 12 damage, pff, that's nothing. That's nothing, dude. Here comes that feared Raiju, right on schedule. So we're gonna go Leyline Binding on our turn. Same thing, man. Boros is running. Valorous Stance. Or it used to be running Valorous Stance, I suppose. So, Proving Ground. So, Leyline, 1, 2, 3. So, we're going to go Untapped Source here. Gonna have to take another one. Moonveil blocks in the air. Take a damage, but we're, again, still do it on our turn. Do we want to draw one? We have 5 mana. I'm going to decline this time. I think the Proving Ground being able to cycle this is fine, and we have a ton of cards that cost a lot of mana. So if we draw a land, then we cycle the Proving Ground for sure. This blocks well here, Kumano. Yeah, this is anyone's game, guys. Anyone's game. This deck can easily get here. Valorous Stance, there it is. Like we said, they get 2 through with the Phoenix Chick, and now we are looking for more removal, which we have plenty of in the deck. I believe in us, guys. That can hit the Kumano. Start with the cycle. Yeah, whenever your opponent cycles, you like it's that's how you know. Like, oh, we're almost there. So the Who Endures this turn would mean that they don't get an extra counter on a creature next turn. What it also means... Yeah, we Who Endures this turn, guys. Because this could easily be a 2-drop with haste, and it could be a 2-2, but it would be a 3-3 if we don't get rid of Kumano. So yeah, if they got it, they got it, right? Another Raiju could easily close out this game. Good game though, very good game. Uh-oh. They got the scry, they're searching. Can we get the Ziatora on the board before it's too late? No, the Bloodthirsty Adversary hits the board. We drop the GGs for the opponent, and perfect time for my favorite new emote. Very good game though, opponent. I think that could have gone either way. Yeah, they had a lot of firepower though, and it was hard to keep up with, but I think you guys will probably be with me there. That could have went either way. Good game. That was a really good game though. Really got to test like the deck against some super aggro. How far are we in the video, guys? We're 22 minutes in. We can totally get 2 or 3 more games in. That is awesome because we get to showcase as much of the deck as possible. And maybe we can, right now, what are we at? A 60% win rate? Oh, only 2 land. We got 25 total, so... Yeah, the mana base has been really, really slow, but... I don't know. I feel like the mana base is fine. Maybe we have to go up to 26 land. Maybe. Definitely going to be something to talk about here. See, Thran Portal's huge, dude. But if we go Bankbuster, then we can't Flame Blessed Bolt. Yeah, no, it's got to be the Thran Portal, though. We get this down as a black source here. And we'll get the Bankbuster down. So going right into the Rivaz could be cool, because then we'll be able to use the mana to activate the Devastator a little better. Swing for 3. Okay, so it really depended what they played here on whether or not the Unleash the Inferno was gonna come down on 4, but this is pretty good too. But I think the Rivaz just gets taken out immediately from a Blood Tithe Harvester, right? So we could probably go Proving Ground, keep Flame Blessed open, and then we have the Bankbuster open too. Let's see what they end up doing. How do you guys feel about that? Just drawing off a Bankbuster, maybe find a land? We don't need more land. We have the Haunted Ridge, but... Actually, yeah, our land is completely fine right now. We go for the draw. That's good news for us. Discard the Underdog. Yep, makes sense. Okay. If they blitz out the Underdog, we can Flame Blessed Bolt the Underdog, which exiles it, which is great. Like, that would be amazing. Oh, they might actually do it, too, because that's a bunch of damage. Nope, not this time round. Well, we are going to hit one of these. Even though they have the Underdog, 6 damage to face, dude? I don't think so. Gotta take care of one of these. 2 more Flame Blessed Bolts in the deck, too. But they did have the 4, Shieldred. Yeah, we get to take care of that with the Unleash the Inferno. Like I said, Unleash the Inferno is really good right now, guys, and it takes care of the blood token too. The big problem here is we are getting very, very low. Down to 10, and the Blood Tithe Harvester. The Blood Tithe Harvester and the Tenacious Underdog. We are probably going to perish, but that's okay. I can't believe how much damage these guys are actually chipping through, even with all this removal, right? Down to 4, they get a draw here too. Yeah, we had to take out the Shieldred though, right? Like, I don't think there was a better way through there. So on this turn, we get to play 2 things. We're gonna hold back the planes for now. 1, 2. Oh, no, we don't. We don't get to play 2 things. Unless I get this down as a blocker. We can't tap this down yet. Oh, yeah, what was I thinking? Oh. My brain was probably thinking that this was a mana rock. Right. We need a chump blocker down. Is Fable better to do that job? Probably not. Probably not, because Fable's token into Devastator for 1, but we take 1 damage. They probably have lightning strikes too. I think this is the opponents, guys. I think it's as simple as Infernal Grasp whatever we play and full swing with the Tenacious Underdog and Harvester. Dang, okay, these last 2 games, the opponents have really stepped up their aggressiveness. I feel like we barely got to do anything here. Shows the power of Blood Tithe Harvester. The fact that it's a 3/2 and it's easy to remove creatures and stuff with too. Just looks like a very solid Rakdos shell with between Underdog, Harvester, and then Shieldred on the top end. Yeah, that looks pretty powerful. So they're looking for a way to get that last bit of damage through. They don't know what's in hand, so they are thinking about this. They do not know what we are rocking in hand. Yeah, being able to get the Devastator down bigger next turn might be better, but then we have to tap down the Rivaz. So, like, if it was Fable, though, simple Play with Fire could kill it, whereas at least the Rivaz... At least the Rivaz doesn't die to a Play with Fire, or a Flame Blessed Bolt. Yeah, there's the Infernal Grasp. Okay, they're missing the extra mana for the Tenacious Underdog. But this does make it so that way we can't tap the Thran Portal, so... Yeah, for some reason, I really did think I was going to be able to play 2 things out there, and maybe it would have been a very different game. So they are rocking the Tramway Station. So they swing for 3 for sure. Down to 1. Our Thran Portal is now officially useless. What could we see off the top that would be really good? Oh, Tenacious Underdog number 2 hits the board. Courier's Briefcase. Huh. You know what? It's not half bad. It gives us a chump blocker. Get another chump blocker here, but then they still just blitz out the other Underdog, huh? So my early Flame Blessed Bolt, yeah, maybe I should have waited for Underdog, but then we would have been taking more damage from the Harvesters too. The blockers for days, huh? Devastator could be a 2/2. I think it's just Fable and then a GG from the opponent. See, we could get Devastator down as a 1, and then we have to take 1 damage from the Thran Portal, so... They still don't know what's in hand. This could be a Flame Blessed Bolt, but it's not, as we know, but... I think it's pretty easy. Blitz out the Underdog, full swing. Oh! They have something else in hand. It's gotta be. Removal. Voltage Surge. Wow, I feel like I would have blitzed out the other thing anyways, just in case I did have removal in hand. What if my removal was able to take out both of these? I guess there isn't much that could do that for 1 mana, but yeah. Yeah, we could power up the Bank Buster before it died, by the way, but we were dead either way, so we're not gonna take that extra time to actually kill one of these off. GG opponents. All right, let's hop into another game. You gotta believe me, guys, there's still a lot of power here. The opponents are really getting that damage through, though. Is this 4? What does that mean? Times 4? What? Guys, somebody tell me in the comments, what does this mean? Times 4? Did I just get 4 of these? Or is it telling me that I have 4 of them? I have no idea what that means. Yeah, either way, let's see. Yeah, the meta right now, guys, is super scary. There are so many tough decks, and between mono black control, mono black aggro, mono red aggro, Boros aggro, Rakdos sacrifice, which I think that's what that last deck was. I think that's what that deck was. There are just some seriously scary decks. This is a fun one, though. My test matches were really fun, too. We'll start with the garden. So no turn 1 for the opponent over there. At least it's green. At least we're seeing some... Oh, some Gruul. Okay, that's scary, but yeah, we're hitting that with the Flame Blessed Bolt immediately. Don't sleep on the Flame Blessed Bolt, guys. If you got a deck that doesn't worry too much about hitting the opponent's face, like, if you worry about hitting the opponent's face, then you probably want Play with Fire. If you worry about surviving long enough to get your mid-range creatures down, then you want to consider Flame Blessed Bolt, since it exiles. Now, the exile there didn't do anything. It didn't have counters anyways, but if it did, the Leyline can hit that. So can the Lightning Strike, though. So we're going to keep the Lightning Strike open, as red and green doesn't have a lot of removal except for Tamiyo's Safekeeping, which we're just not seeing right now, so we'll keep this open. Okay, we got a lot of creatures and not a lot of land remaining, so hopefully we can draw some of that 25 land. Thundering Raiju. Okie dokies. We put a stop before combat so they don't get to swing here. And this one is going to be the Lightning Strike. On the Raiju, of course. You do not want them to continue to swing in with that. Next turn, we're probably just keeping Binding open. Oh, that's better. I like that. Since we didn't hit a mana, being able to block with this if we need to in an emergency, or being able to swing in next turn to actually ramp, so if we do draw a land, we can drop the Rith next turn too. Yeah, all we gotta do is draw some mana here. I would give it to... We can just chump the Stormseeker, so giving it to the Iconoclast, we'd probably just take the 4. Do we just take the 6, though? Since we're big time struggling, guys. We're big time struggling. Let's take the damage and hope that we draw a land. Okay, we got a land. Very nice. So, we're going to get rid of a Rith. We are going to get rid of a Ziatora because we have the Rivaz here. Lightning Strike. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So now we can successfully play the Rith out onto the board, but we are getting low enough to where we're probably going to want to consider the Fable number 2 and Leyline kept open. Fable number 2, so we could kill the Iconoclast if it doesn't buff. Rivaz could be cool too. Rivaz could block not that well, honestly. So let's go Fable, and we have Lightning Strike and Leyline open. Hopefully that's not too greedy, guys. I'm actually concerned that they have a second Raiju, or a Hallandal at this point would be really, really bad too, because they could plug all the Hallandal counters onto the Iconoclast, which has Trample. Woo, buddy! Yeah. Yeah. Give it to the Devastator. It has flying. No, they go for it. Yeah, they figure if we have removal, we better split this up. Very, very smart. I would have given it to the Devastator, but I think they chose a better play there. Leyline takes out the Devastator, no questions asked. Take 4 damage here. We can bring this back, guys. We can bring this back. Need more land, but we get to filter. We do get to filter. Lightning Strike takes care of the Stormseeker. Bankbuster, and I gotta keep everything else for now. Lightning Strike. Get a swing. Yeah, I don't know where the mana is, honestly. Keep the 2 open for the Lightning Strike, and we have 2 blockers on the ground. All the opponent needs is another Devastator, which is terrifying, guys. Very, very terrifying. Let's see if they find it. Woo! Uphill battles against the aggro decks. So maybe in the final thoughts, we got to talk a little bit about how we could help the deck survive against aggro. That is very possible. Also, aggro just looks really good right now. So playing a mid-range build like this, I guess it's going to be an uphill battle regardless. Unless you can gain a lot of life at the same time. Because look, guys, all they got to do is top deck a Lightning Strike. That's all they got to do. So a little bit of life gain could go a long way. No! Oh, wait. They only did it for 3. What? Why only 3? Lightning Strike. Oh, did they not know we had Lightning Strike, though? Cameo Safekeeping. Tameo safe. Oh, Tameo safekeeping. Hey, good game, opponent. Dude, I was not expecting that at all. That was awesome. Wait. Favorite emote. Every chance I get. Every chance I get. Man, at this point, I'm glad I played those test matches. Other words, the win rate would be even worse. We're at 42% win rate right now in ranked. You know, it is what it is. I thought there was some power here, but more testing's required. We're gonna get one more game in, though. I really do. I have a little bit of faith in the deck, and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you guys already let me know in the comments that it's no good. But at this point, oh no, yeah, we're struggling for mana. First thing in the final thoughts: go up to 26 mana. I don't know how 25 isn't enough, but it's just not enough. Having only the Lightning Strike on a turn 3, opponents going first too. We got a mulligan, guys. No questions asked. That's the first mulligan of the day, right? We will ditch a single Lightning Strike. That way we actually have plays here. Getting some life. Another Flame Blessed Bolt. Crystal Grotto. Tranquil Cove. This could be Control, which makes our hand very, very bad. Control makes our hand horrible. I'm thinking Briefcase, because I'd rather that get countered than the Bankbuster, since the Bankbuster can help us draw cards and keep up against Control. Also, Briefcase lets us keep the Flame Blessed Bolt open in an emergency, which it doesn't look like we're going to need against a deck like this. We'll see, though. They could surprise us. It could be like a Virtuoso build or something. That would be crazy. Yeah, that's Tameo safekeeping. That was epic for the opponent. Didn't that look like so much fun, guys? That looked like so much fun. Yeah, I've been holding off on the Gruul aggro. Karn's Silex, huh? Okay. So Karn's Silex confirms the control side of things. So like I said, it makes our hand very, very bad. So what we want against control is, of course, whenever they're tapped out, to actually be able to play our big dragons and everything. Right now we're only seeing the removal side of it, so we'll see, we'll see. Okay, we got the budget mana base, which I don't think is holding them up that much at all. Proving ground. At least we're seeing some mana now. We're going to use the Bank Buster. See if the 1/1 gets through. Sure does. Opponent's down to 19. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Impulse. Nice. Apparently this is a reprint as well. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That seems pretty good, huh? Seems pretty good because you get to search for whatever the heck you want on those top 4, and 4 is pretty good. Being able to keep this open alongside like a counter spell or something, yeah, that seems pretty powerful. Yeah, I think Bank Buster's gonna go a long way here. The fact that we get to draw a card every turn for a little while, so they're gonna go ahead and get rid of them. Which is good news for our dragons later on, I suppose. Since this is going to go bye-bye anyways, we're going to go ahead and use it for the Lightning Strike. Even though we take 1 damage, it's going to die to the Karn Silex anyways, so... Get a little bit of extra damage through. Another Bank Buster. Well... It's not the hero we asked for, but... It's good, it's fine. See, they were... Like, if we drew a Rith or something there, like, we gotta be super careful around Make Disappears and other counter spells. I don't care much about the life from the Thran Portal, so we're gonna use the Reckoner Bank Buster here. There's a Rith. And a land. Oh, nice. I mean, the Rith probably gets countered because they have 6 mana open, but we drew one, so I'm gonna use this on my turn, see what we draw. We gotta be able to... Nice, actually. That's pretty sick. Keep the Lightning Strike open. We gotta be able to at least be pay the 2 for a Make Disappear before we try to get Rith onto the board. Oh, another Impulse. That is bad, because at this point they can just continue to search for counter spells to make sure no matter what we are locked down. Yeah, so it's not a budget mana base, it's just a stacked mana base with a to make sure they always have it. I'm gonna try Lightning Strike to face because it's not gonna do anything else this game. It gets through, they don't counter that. Ziatora. Very nice. So we still only have the 1 open, but we do have 2 Riths, so if it eats a counter spell this turn, nah. We Bank Buster. Same thing, we're looking for land too. Be able to play on our turn. Nice. All this extra mana. It does mean we can still attempt the Rith this turn. And the extra mana next turn means maybe it'll actually get through. Since we drew that land from the Bank Buster. Did we try it? We try it. Let's do it. Yeah, since we have the second one, we have a Ziatora. We actually have cards on the board. Bank Buster can start to crew up too. So like if they don't use removal this turn, then... So Rith hits the board, guys. Oh, buddy. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Hullbreaker. Why? I gotta train my brain to anticipate Hullbreakers from now on. We didn't see Hullbreaker Horror for a little while there in Standard. Like, it was very, very rare to see. And so, like, I untrained my brain to never see this card, and this is the second time it's surprised me since Dominaria came out. So they go for, they're gonna get rid of the token. They gotta pay the ward 2 here. We have the Flame Blessed Bolt open, but it does not hit Hullbreaker at all, and neither does pretty much any of the other removal in the deck, so we'll see what ends up happening here, guys. I think Hullbreaker is going to be a nail in the coffin, unfortunately. We can use the clue to draw. They have 4 mana. I don't think anything we play next turn is going to hit. Another land. I'm down to see it. Yeah, the Fateful Absence on the Rith, instead of just bouncing it back to hand, was a good call. Everything we play, I think we have to search for a removal for the Hallbreaker, guys. I think that's what we got to do. Moonveil Regent. That's pretty good. 1, 2, 3. 3 mana open then. I guess Rith is still the call, guys. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, it probably just gets bounced right back to hand. Right, because it could be like just as simple as another Impulse. Use the Hallbreaker. They use a Syncopate. Bro. Syncopate for 3? Oh, man. Okay, well, Rith is out of this game. Oh, man. We do have one in the grave, though, so our Rivaz could bring it back, but the Hallbreaker is probably... Okay, we could try both Moonveil Regents here. Yeah, that's probably the bet. Try to get both of them onto the board. Take 1 damage. Oh, man. We could discard all these and draw 1, but I don't think we do. The Flying Dragons was really our only hope to begin with. So it's as simple as, right, Fateful Absence, bounce the other Moonveil, swing with Hallbreaker. Guys, we went on a little bit of a losing streak at the end of the video here, but that's okay. I still think there's a little bit of power in the deck. More testing's required. Maybe we got unlucky. Maybe Standard is just not the place for this style of dragon build, where maybe it's a little bit greedy. What's this now? Even the score. Draw X cards. Whoa! They just drew so many cards, guys. If they try to remove Moonveil, we're going to power up Bankbuster for a blocker, but all they need is 1 more piece of removal, which they just drew a ton of cards. So, Memory Deluge, bounce Moonveil. Crew up the Bankbuster. We have the blocker, but they just need 1 more card, so they can search for anything off the Deluge. Literally anything, and Hallbreaker is going to get them there. We're going to let them play this out, though. As long as they don't take too long, of course, to make the decision on what to bounce Bankbuster with. Yeah, we'll let them swing. You know, if a control opponent ever has the quest where they have to attack with creatures, I can only imagine it takes at least an entire month to... Good game, opponent. Very good game. Drop the emote. No! Aw, I was too late. It happened so fast. Total deck win rate, 37%. We got 1 victory at the beginning of the video, which I'm happy it happened at the beginning, honestly, and then followed by 4 losses. Very, very brutal. I'm going to have to put Jank in the title somewhere just in case. Even if I do think the deck is okay and not necessarily janky, that's a lot of losses, so I'm going to have to put it somewhere for sure. Here's the deck list again, guys. Herd Migration was awesome. I'd go up to 2 of them, honestly. Leyline Binding was pretty sick, too. Great removal, but overall, I mean, obviously the best way to do the domain cards is the Triomes and the Thran Portal. That's obviously the best way, but somehow it was actually hard to get the domain down just off of these other dual land, which slowed us down a lot, especially at the beginning. 25 land was somehow not enough. We need 26 in here. I thought 25 was going to be enough, guys. Courier's Briefcase helps us fix our mana. Herd Migration, Celestus, Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, even Bankbuster eventually gives us treasure and can help you draw for more land. It just wasn't enough. It really wasn't. I drop down to 1 Ziatora. Just have it on your top end as a finisher. Drop down to 1 Ziatora. Go up to 26 land. Drop a single Flame Blessed Bolt. Even though it's going to be very, very, very important. I don't know if we want to do that, actually. It's a very important card against all those aggro decks that kicked our butt, so... Yeah, drop a Ziatora, go up a land. What else could we do here, guys? I don't know if we needed the 4 Moonveil Regent. It's funny because you gotta, like, you gotta like strip out the dragons in order to make this viable, which it tells me that maybe it's just not viable, right? The Rith was cool, but we didn't really get to see it a whole lot, and if it if we had trouble getting it onto the board, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. What would you change? Overall, I think it was a really neat concept. I think that running Rith and Rivaz together is definitely a reason to run the 4 colors, and then having the domain cards in here too. I think the main thing is just drop a Ziatora, go up to 26 land, and then honestly, maybe it would do a lot better, because there were just a few times where we were really crunched on mana, and if we just had a little bit more. One more thing, guys. Unleash the Inferno is actually really, really cool, man. This does a lot. So look out for Unleash the Inferno. Consider at least one of them in your Jund builds as well, because it does a lot against mono black and whatnot. So guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.